The Eleusinian mysteries of ancient Greece were among the most enigmatic and revered religious rituals of antiquity, representing humanity's quest to understand life, death, and the possibility of an afterlife. Lasting nearly 2 millennia, these rites were held in the small town of Eleusis, just outside Athens, and were dedicated to Demeter, the goddess of the harvest, and her daughter Persephone. Rooted in myth and highly structured, the Eleusinian mysteries offered initiates what was considered the highest spiritual experience of the ancient world, an encounter with the divine that promised insight into the cycle of life, the nature of death, and the possibility of spiritual rebirth. The story at the heart of the mysteries is one of love, loss, and renewal. According to myth, Persephone was abducted by Hades, the god of the underworld, as she picked flowers in a field. Her mother Demeter, devastated and angered by her daughter's disappearance, roamed the earth in mourning, refusing to allow plants to grow, plunging the world into famine and darkness. The myth tells of Demeter's relentless search and eventual discovery of Persephone's fate, leading to her confrontation with Zeus and Hades. After lengthy negotiation, it was agreed that Persephone would spend part of the year with her mother on Earth and the rest with Hades in the underworld. Her return marked the blossoming of spring and the fruitful abundance of summer, while her descent each year heralded the barrenness of autumn and winter. This mythological cycle was an allegory for the seasons, but also a reflection of the eternal human experience of birth, death, and rebirth. The Eleusinian mysteries sought to reenact and deepen the myth's themes, taking initiates on a journey that mirrored Persephone's descent and reunion with her mother, thus representing a symbolic death and rebirth. These rites were divided into 2 major stages: the lesser mysteries and the greater mysteries. The lesser mysteries, held in the spring at Agrae, served as an introduction and purification for new initiates. During this stage, participants were ritually cleansed through fasting, prayer, bathing, and animal sacrifice to prepare them for the greater mysteries. These purifications were necessary to approach the divine with humility and purity, setting the stage for the profound experiences that awaited them. The greater mysteries were celebrated in September, coinciding with the harvest season. The rites began with a solemn procession from Athens to Eleusis, a journey of about 14 miles along the sacred way. This pilgrimage was rich in symbolism and incorporated reenactments of Demeter's sorrowful search for her daughter. The participants, dressed in simple clothing and carrying bundles of sacred offerings, made their way to Eleusis, stopping at shrines along the route to chant hymns and perform small rituals. The journey itself was physically demanding, testing the endurance of the initiates and reinforcing their commitment to the ritual path. Upon arriving in Eleusis, initiates gathered in the sanctuary and took part in a series of secretive rituals that symbolized the passage from ignorance to enlightenment, life to death, and despair to hope. The rites culminated in the Telesterion, a grand hall within the sanctuary where the sacred mysteries were performed under strict vows of silence. No uninitiated individual was permitted inside, and revealing what took place was considered a grievous offense, punishable by death. Scholars have pieced together fragments from ancient texts and accounts to suggest that the Telesterion ceremonies included a sacred drama reenacting the myth of Demeter and Persephone. Initiates likely witnessed the revelation of sacred objects and may have taken part in the ritual drinking of kykeon, a barley and mint drink that some scholars believe contained psychoactive substances derived from naturally occurring ergot fungus. If true, this drink may have facilitated altered states of consciousness, enabling initiates to experience what they believed were divine visions. What these visions entailed remains a closely guarded secret, preserved by the silence of the initiates. However, ancient accounts hint at experiences that transcended normal perception, providing participants with a glimpse of the divine and a profound understanding of the mysteries of life and death. The playwright Sophocles, a devotee of the mysteries, claimed that initiates would leave the rites with a sense of spiritual security and hope, dispelling fear of the afterlife. Other notable initiates, including Plato, suggested that these experiences provided deep insights into the nature of the soul and the possibility of a blessed existence beyond death. The Eleusinian mysteries were open to all Greek-speaking individuals, regardless of gender, age, or social status, as long as they were free of murder or severe crimes. This inclusivity was rare in the ancient world, offering a space where rich and poor, male and female, could join in the same ritual journey. For many participants, the mysteries provided a form of spiritual democratization, allowing individuals from different social standings to partake in an experience that transcended mortal distinctions. Over the centuries, the mysteries attracted not only Greek citizens, but also foreigners, including prominent Romans and emperors like Augustus and Marcus Aurelius, further spreading the influence of Eleusis across the Mediterranean. The mysteries' influence extended beyond the realm of religious practice, significantly shaping Greek thought and philosophy. Many ancient philosophers, including Plato and Pythagoras, were deeply influenced by the teachings of Eleusis. Plato, for instance, referred to the mysteries in his writings as a journey toward true knowledge, using the symbolism of death and rebirth to represent the philosopher's search for enlightenment. The mysteries thus offered a framework that resonated with philosophical themes of transcendence, the immortality of the soul, and the pursuit of higher knowledge. With the spread of Christianity in the late Roman Empire, pagan practices came under increasing scrutiny, and the Eleusinian mysteries were officially suppressed by the Emperor Theodosius I in 392 CE. The sanctuary was destroyed shortly after by the Visigoths, marking the end of the mysteries as a living tradition. Yet the legacy of Eleusis endured, influencing later mystical traditions and leaving a lasting imprint on Western spiritual thought. Some early Christian writers condemned the mysteries as pagan, but others, like Clement of Alexandria, acknowledged the spiritual depth of the rites, drawing comparisons between the Eleusinian themes of rebirth and resurrection and those in Christianity. The mysteries also found echoes in later mystery schools, such as the Hermetic and Gnostic traditions, which preserved elements of the Eleusinian approach to mystical knowledge. Ultimately, the Eleusinian mysteries represented humanity's yearning to transcend the boundaries of the known world, reaching toward the divine. In symbolizing the eternal cycles of nature and the soul's journey beyond death, they offered initiates a vision of continuity and hope, bridging the mortal and the immortal. The mysteries taught that life was a sacred journey, filled with periods of darkness and light, decay and renewal, sorrow and reunion. This vision has resonated through the ages, reminding us that even in the face of mortality, the soul's path toward enlightenment endures, embodying humanity's enduring desire to understand life's greatest mysteries.